Se caresse in sua mene, passion propre reflectere, si tu in voce teme, tu nasis exauce. Dirait, dirait-on, dirait-on, dirait-on. Dirait, dirait, dirait-on, dirait, dirait, dirait-on. Dirait, dirait, dirait-on, dirait-on, dirait-on. Dirait, dirait, dirait-on,
Hands at sides.
Se caresse in sua meme, passion propre reflectere, si tu in tebe, tu nasis exauce. Dire, dire to, dire to, dire to. Dire, dire, dire to, dire, dire, dire to. Dire, 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 dire to, dire to. Dire, dire,
Good morning. All right. It's great to see you all this morning. Please come on in, come up front. We're trying to be intimate without getting too close, so feel free to huddle together. I'm Abhi Janamanchi, pronoun he, him, one of the ministers serving this religious community. And I welcome you on this beautiful day to Cedar Lane. I am a 55-year-old Indian male wearing a brown shirt, a red stole, and cream pants. And I have dark hair and a graying mustache. And I am delighted to see you all here this morning. As we begin, I'd like us all to take a moment and greet each other, especially our newcomers and guests. We gather this morning as we have gathered for over 7 decades on the ancestral lands of the Nacotchtank and Piscataway Conoy peoples, and on the land where enslaved African people and their descendants toiled without choice or reward. We honor their enduring presence, wisdom, and stewardship of this land across generations past, present, and future. Welcome to Cedar Lane, where we gather as one beloved community, celebrating the rich diversity of age, belief, culture, sexuality, gender, ability, life circumstance, nationality, and documentation status. We welcome you just as you are and are truly grateful to have you with us this morning. A warm welcome to our newcomers and guests, whether you are with us in person or online. If you're new or still feeling new and feel comfortable doing so, please raise your hand or introduce yourself in the chat so we can greet you and offer a small token of our appreciation. Let us give our guests a warm Cedar Lane welcome. Thank you for taking the risk to worship with us this morning. And it is a risk. After the service, we invite everyone to join us for fellowship and coffee in our fellowship hall. And if you'd like to learn more about Unitarian Universalism or get involved in our congregation, please fill out the newcomer form and return it to one of our greeters. And to stay updated on Cedar Lane's news and events, please sign up for our weekly e-newsletter on cedarlane.org. And our caring ministry serves as an extension of the ministry here at Cedar Lane. Mala Wedberg, a dedicated member of our team, is available to offer you support in person. Thank you, Mala. And now let us center ourselves, inviting our mind, body, and spirit into this space, made sacred by our presence, the presence of the Holy, in which we live, move, breathe, and have our being. Place your feet on the floor. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. Lower your gaze. Set aside the garment of busyness for this time and take a breath. Let us breathe in and breathe out together. Say to yourself quietly, breathing in, I am here now. Breathing out, I am present. Breathing in, I let go. Breathing out, I am calm. Breathing in, I breathe in peace. Breathing out, I breathe out love. In this spirit, we gather. In this spirit, we begin. As you are able and willing, I invite you to rise in body and/or in spirit to sing We Give Thanks.
Good morning. I'm Kathleen Holmay. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a 78-year-old white woman with light hair, a blue top, and black pants. And our opening words today are from John Donohue. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. Gratitude makes sense of our past. It brings peace for today and creates a vision for tomorrow. In our Unitarian Universalist tradition, we light a chalice as a beacon of our faith and our community whenever we gather. This year, we're marking and celebrating 25 years of the Monday evening meditation group here at Cedar Lane. And one of the leaders of that group and a member are going to come forward to light the chalice, Carol Rogentine and Diane Yonches. Please rise in body or in spirit and join in saying the words on the screen. We light this chalice in gratitude, acknowledging the abundance that fills our lives. As the flame illuminates our space, may it remind us of the light within and around us, the countless blessings we often overlook, and the profound connections we share with each other. In this moment, let us pause and give thanks for the love, kindness, and support that enriches our journey. May this light guide us to cultivate a spirit of gratitude in all we do, recognizing the gifts of each day and the beauty of our shared community.
Our story this morning is The Rain Cloud and the Rainbow, from the book The Zen Monkey and the Lotus Flower by Tempa Ishi. In a distant valley, drenched by constant rain, People lived in constant melancholy. The sky was constantly covered with dense gray clouds that hid the sun. I think it's about Seattle. The people of the valley felt deeply disheartened, believing that joy and happiness were simply not possible in their lives. One day, a Buddhist monk visited the valley. He observed the constant gray hanging over the valley and the gloomy mood of the people. "Why are you sad?" he asked them. "Well, don't you see the sky?" a person replied, pointing to the gray clouds. "It rains here all the time, and the sun never comes out. How could we possibly be happy?" Well, the monk smiled gently, and he said, "So, you're only seeing the clouds, but have you ever tried to look behind them?" Now, people were confused. How could one look behind the clouds, they wondered. The clouds are so thick, and we can't see anything, they said. "Well, let me tell you a story," said the monk. "Once upon a time, there was a rainy cloud that roamed the sky. It was heavy with rain and felt very sad because it thought its only purpose was to cast shadows and block out the sun. Now, one day, the cloud met a wise old rainbow. And the rainbow noticed the cloud's sadness and asked, "Why are you so gloomy, my dear cloud?" "Because I only bring shadows and rain," the cloud replied. "I cover the sun, and this makes people sad." Well, the rainbow smiled warmly and said, "You see yourself as a bringer of rain. But have you ever noticed what happens when you let go of your burden? When you release the rain, you make room for me, and together we create something beautiful, a rainbow. Through your rain, I come to life, bringing color and joy to the world." Now the cloud was really surprised. It had never realized that by releasing all its rain, it could create something so beautiful. And so from that day on, the cloud no longer felt sad. It embraced its role, knowing that even in its rain, there was the potential for something wonderful, a rainbow that would bring joy to others. So the monk finished his story and looked at the villagers. He said, "You see, the clouds may cover the sky, but behind them the sun still shines. And when the rain falls, it makes way for the rainbow. And sometimes we have to look beyond the clouds to find the beauty that is waiting to emerge." The villagers were really moved by the monk's story, and they began to see the rain and the clouds differently, understanding that even in gloom and sadness, there was the possibility of beauty and joy and gratitude waiting to emerge. That's the story. And you get the message. And so now, we will all join in singing "Go Now in Peace" as the children go to have makerspace, which is really fun arts activities that we're having in the chapel today. So let us sing together. As we enter this time of sharing, let us take a deep breath together, grounding ourselves in this present moment. May we open our hearts with compassion, holding ourselves and each other in loving kindness. Together we create a space to share in each other's joys and sorrows, to be companions on life's journey, embracing those who are with us today and holding in our hearts those who are absent. And as you reflect on the joys and sorrows in your life, you're invited to come forward to light a candle in silence or to briefly share a special joy or sorrow. And if you would like to share a joy or sorrow, please share your name, your pronouns, and speak clearly into the microphone. And after each person shares, we will all respond together. In every joy and sorrow, we are held by a love that will not let us go. Let's give it a try. In every joy and sorrow, we are held by a love that will not let us go. Wonderful. Let the sharing begin. Please feel free to line up here in the middle aisle.
I have two. I have successfully survived very quickly on surgery. And, I'm Kathleen Reedy, she, her. And my partner, Patrick Howell, is recovering reasonably well from his disaster last year.
Hello, I'm Rodrigo Brana, and Sue and I got married in October 7th last year. We've known each other since 1985.
I'm on and off again. I'm Sue Camioni, and we did get married, and we had a wonderful place. And we're also going to be grandparents in October.
I'm sorry. I'm Leslie Backus, she, her. And Chris Lily Backus, my brother Andy Backus's wife, or widow, died about a month ago. So that's my sorrow. My joy is that my daughter is pregnant and due in February. Very unexpectedly.
Good morning, I'm Roger Santo Domingo. I'm here with my mom, Odalit Gilales, who is my joy that is here with us on the middle of the sorrow that our country, Venezuela, is going through at the moment. Well, I'm happy that she's here with us.
Hola, muchas gracias. Muy agradecida por la atención a mi hijo. Y lo que expresan ustedes, estoy muy, muy, muy agradecida. Y siempre mi corazón ahorita muy triste por Venezuela. Gracias.
She says, hola, hello. She's very grateful to be here and the welcome that you have given us to his son, his family, her family, and also always with the sorrow that many friends are now suffering now in Venezuela and family.
Good morning. I'm Linda Genesi, and I want to let you know that my daughter Carol is now engaged to Peter Harris. Yay! Only took 11 years.
Good morning. My name is Sherry Bortnick. When I was in high school, I was very active here. My maiden name was Williams, so I'm Sherry Williams. Somebody out here might know me. I think Leslie probably does. And what I just want to share a little joy. I have a father who's 97. He turned 97 yesterday. He lives alone. He swims. He lives in an apartment building in Bethesda. And for a surprise for his birthday, several people who are in his apartment building and care very much about him had a surprise party for him. And I thought it was lovely. And I said, Dad, you know, I've never had a surprise party. He said, neither have I. So I just thought that was a joyous occasion.
Thank you.
I'm Deborah Vollmer, and I guess a little bit of joy is I'm recovering from hip replacement surgery, which I had in November. Doing a lot better, not 100%, but doing a lot better. But I wanted to just mention and I know we're not really supposed to talk politics, but I think there is an element of hope now, and I'm especially hopeful for the people in Palestine who are suffering so much. And I'm thinking with what I hope will be a change in administration, that there can be peace in Israel and Palestine and the Middle East. So that's it. What do I do?
We send healing wishes to Tammy Schultz, who is recovering at Adventist Rehab from knee surgery. And we hold in our hearts the leaders and people of every nation struggling to respond to crises, and the countless people displaced or killed by war, climate disaster, calamities, and political repression. And we lift up our elected and appointed leaders, praying that they find the courage to protect democracy and stand against oppression and occupation, even when it is politically difficult. And we pray for ourselves, asking for the courage and energy to urge our leaders to stop funding genocide and injustice in our names. As we close this time of sharing, let us return to the stillness within. May the love and compassion we have extended to one another continue to flow, nurturing our hearts and connecting our community. May those who shared their sorrows find comfort, held in the warmth of our collective embrace. May those who shared their joys feel their happiness magnified as we celebrate together in the spirit of love. In the words of the ancient prayer, may all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be whole. And may no one suffer. Peace, peace, peace. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shanti, Shanti. May it be so. Blessed be. Every week in worship, we give and receive an offering, a moment that is both symbolic and practical. While our pledges of financial support fund our yearly programs, ministries, and staff, the act of passing the plate during worship is a collective expression of our gratitude for the blessings we have received. It is a tangible way of expressing gratitude for the harvest that is brought in during this sacred hour. Our offering reminds us that giving is as essential to our spiritual well-being as any other part of our Sunday worship. Today we are honored to share the plate with Shepherd's Table, which serves the Silver Spring community with fresh daily meals, an urban garden, a resource center, a clothing closet, and an eye clinic for those facing food and housing insecurity and poverty. Cedar Lane has been a long-standing partner with Shepherd's Table, including 2 very dedicated teams that chop and deliver fresh vegetables every week. You can give online, by text, by mailing a check, or placing your many $20 bills in the offering plate. However you choose to give and whatever you give, we deeply appreciate your generous support. Our offering will now be gratefully given and received.
It's good to check in with yourself physically when you meditate, when you start a meditation. Kind of reminds you that your body can let go. You can be present. So if you feel like it, lift your shoulders up. They go up, breathe in, and then as you exhale, let them go. They can travel quite a distance. It's really the tops of the arm bones we're lifting, but the shoulders follow along. So one more time, breathe in, and then follow your exhale to let go. And hands. Let your hands stretch out. Palms stretch, fingers stretch, breathe in. And then as you exhale, let them soften. And one more time, do it with your palms up if you can. They stretch, and then exhale and release. And maybe your hands, the backs of your hands rest easily in your lap or on your legs. And one more body part, letting your toes lift. Maybe just your toes lift, maybe most of your foot lifts. And extend your toes, stretch them out. Breathe in and then exhale and let your feet come back down to the floor. And since we're doing everything in twos, one more time, the toes lift. Maybe the balls of your feet lift too. Inhale, and then as you exhale, feel that connection you make with the earth. A little bit of grounding. And then feel your breath. Your meditation can be done with your eyes just casting downward. It can be done with eyes closed, or any way you're comfortable. Meditation is noticing. It's noticing, and for the most part, being here. As you know, if you meditate, we leave, and then we come back. Noticing your breath, noticing your body, noticing what you brought with you today, what's going on. Being accepting to whatever is happening inside, whatever is going on with you. This acceptance, it's a way of understanding, a way of appreciating yourself. It's a form of gratitude. Notice your long spine. Notice your relaxing shoulders, your hands and your feet. Notice your breath. Following your breath is often enough. But sometimes we follow our breath and go off here and there. And when that happens, just gently, easily coming back. There's never any need for judgment, any ability to do it wrong. It's always just where you are in this moment, in this breath, right here. Scanning yourself and taking in if things feel easy, if you are at ease, or if there's a challenge, a difficulty, something doesn't feel right. Allowing all that is, and allowing everything in your heart, accepting all of yourself. Letting go into your breath and letting go into your body, and as you do that, being aware that you're conscious, being aware of your awareness, feeling appreciation for this ability you have to be aware, and being thankful for your breath, thankful for being here, thankful for having this time to pause. Feeling gratitude for your ears that hear, and for your sit bones that let you rest, let you pause. Being grateful for your voice that speaks. Some days we aim at thanks. We look for gratitude, and it just doesn't seem like a day for it. But we're wonderful beings. We can hold two things at once. We can deal with challenges. We can deal with failures. We can deal with difficulties. And we can still feel thanks. We can still notice all that we have, all that's around us. Be thankful for that small grin. Sometimes that's all we have. There's no smile. But being thankful for your smile, too. You might feel a smile on the inside of your mouth. You might feel a smile behind your eyes. You could feel a smile across your brow, or inside your heart, or right there on your face. Feeling gratitude for being here today, in person or via video, and feeling thanks for those who make that possible. And feeling gratitude for music you've heard this morning, and for music that's in your heart. Maybe you can feel your heart beating. Giving thanks that you get to do things that you love, and you get to be with and reach out to people that you love, and that you get to express your love any way that works for you, and that you can go outside, you can stand among tall trees, you can hear birds. And giving thanks that you can stroke the softness of an animal. You can caress someone you love. And you can hug a friend. Giving thanks for your freedoms. Giving thanks that you do what's true for you. And feeling gratitude that you can be the person you genuinely are. Being thankful for your health, being thankful for medicine and for vaccines, and being thankful for those who care for you and help you. Thankful for friends, for your parents, for your ability to learn, for your home. And being thankful for mountains and for rivers and for the moon and for stars, for oceans and for clean water, for sunsets and for a feeling of well-being. Being thankful for your ancestors and being thankful for the mistakes you've made. They're great teachers. feeling gratitude for your wisdom, for random acts of kindness that you've both given and received. There are many sayings in Buddhist practice, and this is one of them. If you only say one prayer, let it be a prayer of thanks. Feeling gratitude for what's precious to you, for the people and the places and the items that you hold dear. Being thankful for a time to pause. Being thankful for your understanding of yourself and for the place of welcome that is here in this community for you. Being thankful for this breath, this moment, and for your ability to rest into all the ways you are grateful. In a research study done just after the Great Depression. A social scientist visited a woman in Appalachia, and she lived in a wood cabin with a dirt floor. There was a wood fire in the cabin, no central heat, no indoor plumbing. There was a pump outside the house. And she was asked, if given a large sum of money, what she'd do with it. The woman lived alone. She paused, she looked around, and then she said, I'd give it to the poor. It's relative, isn't it, what we have? It's a state of mind, what we're thankful for. This woman knew she had her own gratitude practice, whatever it was. I didn't intend to have a gratitude practice. I'd been meditating for many years, and it hadn't occurred to me. But it happened. It happened because of this church. It started here at a time in my life when things were very chaotic. I was a single parent. I had a child in high school. I was starting a new business. Way too much was going on. And then someone had the bright idea to open the chapel one afternoon a week for an hour and just let people come. It was fairly dark in there. There were some candles. And I thought, this sounds great. So I turned up every week. Sometimes I was there by myself, not too often. Sometimes there were 4, 5, 6 of us. And sometimes it was just Carol Rogentine and me. She always brought a little book and did a reading. And something happened as I kept coming. It was at least several weeks. At first, I was just letting go of the busyness, of the chaos. And then slowly, things started to change. I took in the pausing. I took in the space. In a busy work day, I think it was a Wednesday. And I thought of something I was grateful for. There was something good in my life. And then as I came back, I thought of more things I was grateful for. And over a few months, I was looking forward to coming just to go through a litany of all the things I was thankful for, the places where I felt gratitude in my life. And you know, that changed the way I felt about my life at the time. It reset me. It made me feel like things were all right, and they would be all right. It was just having that pause and the presence, and the thanks arose from it. People practice gratitude, and they do it for a variety of reasons, of course. And there are gratitude practices. I'm going to describe one to you today. And what happens with them is we become more appreciative. So therefore, we're happier. And then we extend those feelings out, and that gratitude grows. It kind of tumbles forward. You may have your own gratitude practice, and if so, I'm sure it works perfectly for you. You may have one and not be all that aware of it. But the gratitude practice I'll describe has 3 elements. First is the pause and the quiet, to give yourself that space of comfort, to invite in that sense of well-being. You could sit, you could walk, you could lay on your back, anything that works for you. And let in whatever is in your heart. It's all welcome. It's all you. It's allowing and noticing. And that's the beginning, of course, of understanding and compassion, which leads to feelings of gratitude. And then something is likely to feel good. But on the worst days, when nothing appeals to you, what I do is I look up. And I notice one of 2 things. There's either a roof, and I'm happy for the roof. I'm happy for the ceiling. Maybe it's holding in that air conditioning. And if I'm outside and I look up, I see the clouds, I see the sky, I see trees, I hear birds. So it starts that feeling of, yes, something is wonderful here, and I am grateful. So secondly, go for 1 or 2 or 3 things. Sometimes then it does become a tumble. Things just start coming forward. But if you come up with just 1, that's enough. And acknowledge it. Acknowledge it by sitting with it. Notice your breath. Stay with whatever that is for 20 or 30 seconds. When we do that, when we don't rush through, we savor something and it settles in our cells. It becomes part of us. It's easier to recall later. It's easier to bring back that feeling of thanks. And lastly, you can share whatever it is. You could share it in any way that appeals to you. It might be just saying it out loud to yourself. I know people who have gratitude journals. And I also know someone who does an email at the end of the day of 3 things they're grateful for, and they share it with someone else who shares it back. Another little Buddhist saying is, where attention goes, energy flows. What we practice becomes who we are. So whatever you decide to do with this topic of gratitude, know that you can increase your sense of well-being. You can affirm all that you are, and you can let yourself know how blessed you are by having a simple, a one-size-fits-all gratitude practice. And I will close with a poem by Carrie Newcomer called 3 Gratitudes. Listen, every night before I go to sleep, I say out loud 3 things I'm grateful for, all the significant, insignificant, extraordinary, and ordinary stuff of my life. It's a small practice, it's humble, and yet I sleep better. I'm holding what lightens and softens my life. I'm holding it ever so briefly at the end of the day. Sunlight and blueberries, good dogs and wool socks, a fine rain and a good friend. My father's good health, my daughter's new job, the song that always makes me cry, always at the same part, no matter how many times I hear it. Decent coffee at the airport, your quiet breathing, the stories you told me, frost patterns on the windows, a wood thrush and June bugs, the smooth, glassy calm of a morning pond, an old coat, a new poem, my library card, and that my car keeps running despite all the miles. And after 3 things, more often than not, I'm on a roll, and I just keep on going. I keep naming and listing until I lie grinning, with the covers pulled up to my chin, awash with wonder at the sweetness of it all. So please rise in body or in spirit for hymn 21, For the Beauty of the Earth.
Please be seated. As we move into our announcements, I invite you to think of these as invitations to deepen your connection and engagement within our community. Each opportunity is a way to further our shared mission and values as a religious community. A few announcements. Our fall faith formation registration is now open. Please take a moment to register your children and youth for religious education and other programs for the new congregational year. You can find the registration link and the QR code on flyers all around the building and in the chat, and it only takes 5 minutes, I've heard. So please register before you leave today, whether you are in the building or at home. Also, we are welcoming people who wish to spend time working with our children and youth as volunteers and teachers. If you feel called to do this, and it is a lot of fun, a very enriching opportunity, please do see Reverend Dana if you're interested in supporting our religious education program. And join Reverend Dr. Kristen Harper and I for a 4-session course on Unitarian Universalist theology on Wednesdays, August 14th, 21st, 28th, and September 4th from 2 to 4 p.m. on Zoom. We will be exploring key themes such as God and love, good and evil, sin and salvation, life and death. Yep, just going the span in 4 weeks. And by the end of it, you'll know all that you need to know or don't want to know about these things. We hope that this will deepen our understanding of Unitarian Universalist beliefs on these intimate and ultimate questions and how they shape our own views on these essential theological ideas. So the registration, the sign-up is in the e-news, and also I think it's posted in the chat. And if you feel inspired to deepen your involvement and contribute to our mission, we invite you to take the next step on your spiritual journey by becoming a member at Cedar Lane. Your presence enriches our community, and we welcome you with open hearts. So if you are interested, feel moved to do so today, please see me after the service, and I'd be happy to journey with you in your signing our membership book. And a big thank you to Kathleen Holmay, our music ministry, and our AV team for co-creating today's service. What a joy and a blessing it was. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It does take a village to pull together our Sunday morning worship experiences, and that includes our facilities and office staff, our membership and faith formation staff and volunteers, our ushers, greeters, hospitality team volunteers, and caring team volunteers, who all come together every Sunday to make this place happen. Thank you for your service, and thank you to Kate Harrison for that gorgeous flower arrangement. Thank you. And a very special thank you to Libby Wiebel for your outstanding service as our acting director of music, guiding our music program with creativity, leadership, and commitment this past year. Libby, you've been an integral part of our staff team, leading and guiding our music program through a particularly challenging time. And you provided stability and inspiration when it was most needed. And in the process, you have enriched our lives, our music ministry, and our congregation. So thank you for the incredible work and dedication you've shown this year.
Just on the theme of gratitude, I want to thank you all. I have learned so much being with you, and along the way, I just fell in love with you all. And it's sad to go, but I am grateful that you are left in really good hands, and I'm grateful for all the joy that you have brought me. Thank you so much.
Blessings on the journey, Libby and Karen. And so, in this spirit of gratitude, these words from the poet Ross Gay. If you find yourself half naked and barefoot in the frosty grass, hearing again the earth's great sonorous moan that says, you are the air of the now and gone, that says all you love will turn to dust and will meet you there, do not raise your fist. Do not raise your small voice against it, and do not take cover. Instead, curl your toes into the grass. Watch the cloud ascending from your lips. Walk through the garden's dormant splendor. Say only, thank you, thank you, thank you.